Have you ever felt like you're just running through life? Not physically, but metaphorically. Running through your days, but not really living? Then this one is for you. In this episode, we are going to talk about what it means to live authentically, trust the vision inside of yourself, and why your life is meant for so much more than just living in survival mode. We're going to walk through the 4 pillars of luminous living and then leave you with 2 practices that you can use today. Welcome to Igniting Your Dynamic Self. I am your host, Wendy Bjork, and I'm so glad you are here. Today's show is sponsored by heartsofwellness.com, so make sure you pop on over there before you leave today. Before we dive in, though, I want to share something with you, something your soul already knows, but may have not had words for it yet. Your soul did not bring you this far just to keep you small. It did not walk you through everything you've survived so that you could spend the rest of your life managing obligations and running on empty. Your soul has been quietly holding a vision for you, a version of your life that feels true, rooted, and fully alive. So take a breath, settle in, and let this be your few minutes, your slice of grace. I want to start today by asking you something, and I want you to sit with it for a second before we move on. When was the last time you did something just because it felt true to you? Not because it was on your to do list, not because someone needed it, not because it was the responsible thing to do or the expected thing to do, but simply because something inside you said yes. If you had to think hard about that, you're not alone, and this video is for you. Most of us were handed a blueprint pretty early on. Go to school, get the job, pay the bills, stay busy, look busy, keep up with everything, and look fine on the outside, even when the inside feels like it's running on fumes. And for a while, that works. Or at least it looks like it's working. But there comes a point, and I think a lot of women watching this know exactly what I'm talking about, where the rushing around stops feeling purposeful, where the busyness starts to feel like a wall you keep running into instead of a path you're walking forward on. That's not a failure, it's an awakening. I've been navigating multiple sclerosis, or MS, for over 35 years now. And if there's one thing that living with a chronic condition like MS teaches you, it's that your body will not let you keep pretending. At some point, your nervous system says, enough. And what it's really asking for is not just a rest, it's asking for truth and alignment and a life that actually fits you. Your life was never meant to be a series of obligations that you survive through until the weekend. It was meant to be something you inhabit, something you build from the inside out. Here's what I also know about having a vision, the real kind, the kind that lives inside you, underneath all of the noise. It does not shout, it whispers. And when life gets loud, when we have a symptom flare or a calendar overflowing or someone else's emergency becomes your problem, that whisper gets easy to ignore. I spent years learning how to hear mine again, and not through some big dramatic breakthrough moment, but through small, quiet choices. Choosing to slow down enough to listen, choosing to trust what I felt in my body before I let my brain talk myself out of it, choosing to believe that what I wanted mattered too. That is what authenticity actually is. It's not a personality type or a brand aesthetic, it's the practice of trusting yourself enough to let your real life come through. And I will tell you what I have seen both in my own journey and in the women I work with. When you start living from that place, something shifts. Your body starts to feel safer. Your decisions get clearer. The right doors might even start to open because you're finally walking towards the ones that were meant for you. I guide women through 4 pillars that I call the 4 roots, the 4 pillars of the Luminous Living Pathway. And I want to walk you through them briefly today because I think they will give you a map for what we're really talking about. The first root is clarity. Clarity is not just knowing what you want, It's knowing who you are. It's getting quiet enough to hear your own voice underneath everyone else's. A lot of the women I work with have spent years deferring to doctors, to family, to what MS is supposed to look like, or another chronic condition or illness. Clarity is a practice of coming back to yourself, of asking, what do I actually know to be true? And letting that be enough. The second root is vibrancy. Vibrancy is not about having a perfect energy plan or a perfectly managed symptom list. It's about choosing daily to tend to the part of you that is still alive and curious and capable. It is the micro practices. It's staying hydrated. It's doing nervous system mini resets. It's also the moments where you deliberately choose nourishment over pushing through. Vibrancy is what happens when you decide that your aliveness is worth protecting. The third root is harmony. Harmony is where authenticity gets practical. It's your environment, it's your sanctuary, it's your relationships, your daily rhythms, and your choices all starting to line up with who you actually are. Not who you think you should be, not who other people think you need to be. Harmony is a felt sense of your outer life matching your inner truth. And when you start building toward it, even in small ways, the friction of daily life begins to ease. The fourth and final root is connection. Connection is both inward and outward. It's a relationship you have with yourself, with your body, and with something larger than your to do list. It's the community of women who understand what it is like to walk this path. One of the most powerful things I witness in the women I work with is the moment they realize they're not alone, that there are other women who get it, who are not just surviving, but actively choosing something more luminous. Connection is what makes the whole journey sustainable. These four roots, combined together, are not a program, they're a way of living. And they're available to you right now, wherever you are. I don't teach any of this from a distance or out of a book because I've lived it. What I say, I have lived every day. There's mornings when I choose clarity before I check my phone. There's seasons when I have to consciously rebuild my own vibrancy, my own habits after I push too hard. There are weeks when my harmony goes sideways and I have to come back to it, one honest choice at a time. I'm not a finished product standing here telling you what to do. I'm a woman on the path with 35 plus years of real world experience figuring out what works. And that's the difference between information and wisdom. Information tells you what to do. Wisdom comes from someone who has lived it, stumbled in it, tripped in it, flubbed up, found their way through, and is still here to talk about it. And that's what I bring to the table. And that's what I want to offer to you. Before I let you go and sign off, I want to give you two things to carry on afterwards. The first one is this. At some point today, just get quiet for 2 minutes. Not to meditate perfectly or to solve anything. Just place both of your feet flat on the floor. Take in one slow, deep breath and quietly ask yourself, what do I actually know to be true right now? Not what do I fear, not who do I owe anything to, but what do I know? And let whatever comes up just be enough. That is clarity in practice. And it takes 2 minutes. The second takeaway is a reframe I want to give you. The gap between where you are right now and where you want to be is not evidence that something is wrong with you. It is evidence that you're holding something real, a vision that just hasn't arrived yet. It's not a vision that has failed, it's a vision that is still becoming. And the fact that you are still holding it, even when life gets loud and your body gets tired and the timeline feels uncertain, that doesn't mean it's a weakness. That is luminous living in action. So keep holding your vision. I'm Wendy Bjork. founder of Hearts of Wellness, and I guide women that are navigating MS and chronic illnesses who are ready to stop surviving and start building a life that truly supports them. If I shared anything today that resonated with you, I would love to connect with you and share this with anybody else that you think it may help. You can come find me at heartsofwellness.com. That's where you'll find resources, pathways, and a community of women who are choosing something more rooted, more radiant, and more real. You deserve a life that feels like it's yours. And I believe you are already closer to it than you think. I will see you in the next one.